Hey, Ryan Webb here, and hope you're doing great. So here I have Simon Golaz, the guitarist from the band Daxx Roxane. Daxx Roxane is a hard rock band, and they're pretty much keeping hard rock alive, with a modern twist. So check out the album. It sounds absolutely cool. So Simon is one of the guitarists in the band. He also plays the harmonica, which is so cool. So yeah, you guessed this. Guessed what this is all about. It's all about gear talk, guitars, and all that good stuff. They have a new EP coming out, so we'll get into that. So stay tuned in. And before we dive right in, if you could subscribe to the channel, it would be really appreciated. So let's get into this. Hey man, Simon, thanks for taking the time and having this chat with me. I really appreciate it. And who is Simon Golaz? Let's kick this off right there.
Hey Ryan, hey everyone. So I'm Simon. I'm the guitarist and harmonica for Daxx Roxane, like Ryan said. I've been playing guitar for I think like 16 years or something like this. I started when I was like 15, I think. And harmonica as well. Yeah, just enjoying rock music, loving what we do, loving sharing with everyone else on the rock scene here in the UK and everywhere we can go and play. Just having a blast. And yeah, happy to be there. Thank you for having me on board with this. It's really cool.
It's very cool, man. Thanks for taking the time. Anyhow, this is one of the things I end up doing on my YouTube channel, and getting a lot of guitarists and drummers and singers around. So we just basically seeing what everyone's up to, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, of
So
course.
oh, let's get into so the album. When was the album released?
So we released the album in May, if I'm not mistaken. Can't remember the exact dates. Early May. It's been going really well, although, well, like every other band, we've been hit pretty hard with the pandemic, so it's been kind of weird, but the reception by the fans and everyone has just been fantastic, and everyone seems to be loving it. We've been lucky to be able to play it live. Of course, we did a few live streams during the lockdown, and but we've been lucky to go play in Cornwall at the yard. I don't know if you guys heard of it. There is a video on YouTube.
Oh, I just
Um,
checked that out, man. It's actually super cool.
yeah,
Actually
that was
looks and
amazing. That
sounds super
was
cool.
thanks to the guys from King Creature and their manager Jules, who invited us for this amazing show they put together. It was like a proper festival. The only difference was that people were sitting in separate square to social distance. So this side was a bit strange, but everyone was just so happy to be there and be able to finally enjoy some live music again. And last month we also went to play with this Wicked Rivers for the album release. That was a live stream, but like a proper live performance in a studio as well. So it was good to like spend the energy and like play the new songs outside of our rehearsal studio as well.
What was it like performing at the yard, with all these lockdown regulations and stuff? So I think probably you're the only band that I have actually, having a chat about the, gigging in such a situation. So can you chat a little bit about the, the mindset? How does it feel? You guys on stage when you're rocking it, everybody's just in their little spot.
Um, I think it was a bit strange at the beginning when you first get into the first few songs, because obviously it's a bit different. Also, the people who were not supposed to be screaming or anything, because you can spit on the guy in front of you, so they had to like refrain themselves to go too crazy, and they had to try to stay in their little square. But everybody was playing their part, and once we went into the second or third song already, we were in our flow and just enjoying ourselves, having a party on stage, and yeah, just so happy to be able to play. So it was a really great, actually.
That's cool, man. That sounds really cool. So, if is there a single that's been put out from the album?
So there's been a few. We started with Fastlane. I think we released Fastlane in February, so a few months before the album, which was really cool because it's a song that we had actually since I think pretty much the start of the band when we started as teenagers, and we we stopped playing it for a few years because we liked it, but there was something that we wanted to change, and every time we tried, we were never satisfied with the results. And just before recording that album, we were like, okay, let's do it. And we worked with our producer, Colin Parkinson, the ex bassist for Inglorious.
Cool.
He came in the studio with us to work on all the songs, and he brought his ideas in as well. And we got that song finally to reach its final form how we wanted it to be. So it was really exciting to finally release it as a single and have it on an album.
So cool,
And
man. So, do you guys write as a whole band? The beginning stage at least, and crack on put on demos. So, what is the writing process? Who comes up with the initial ideas? Who's the main dude in the band?
so I think the two main writers are Cal and Cedric. So the lead guitarist, and Cedric is the bassist and singer. So they are the main masterminds, I would say. Um, I write riffs, but I'm really bad at putting songs together. So I bring my riffs in and I give it to them, and then they do their magic with it. And Luca as well, he brings his idea in the same way as I do. And I think from compared from the first album to this one, it became more of a group effort as well. Before it was much more, pretty much only Cal and Cedric, and then we'd arrange a bit the songs together, all the four of us. And now they are still the main writers, obviously, but we do much more work as a unit in our rehearsal studio, where when someone comes up with a riff and we all start to jam together on that riff, and now songs start to just get together by themselves by jamming in the studio rather than people writing in the corner and then coming with a almost finished song.
Pretty much the old school way, man. That's just the way hard rock should be. Sounds
Yeah.
The album sounds killer. What can I say? It's pretty much got all those right elements in there. So, what guitars do you guys use? Do you use a guitar that is different from the other guitarist? So, what is your choice of guitarist? Do you stick to the same brand, or do you pick a different guitar for a different track? How does it work?
I have a few. I have three, I think three main guitars. I don't really have one. Usually when I get a new one, it's the main guitar for a bit, and then it gets back to the same level as the other one, and I just switch depending on my mood. I don't think I have really like a guitar that I prefer for a certain song, except maybe if I need something really specific. But so I have a Gibson Flying V that I
Cool.
use. It's the red. I don't know what's the name exactly. I don't know if it has a specific name, but it's a model that came out I think in 2016. That's slightly smaller than the regular Flying V. Um, I really love this guitar. Sounds really good. Stays in tune like a charm. Never moves. So that's I think the main guitar I used on the last album.
Yeah.
Um, I have a Warmouth. That's an American brand that you go on their website and basically you build your own guitar. You choose all the parts.
Yeah.
You choose which wood you want to use for which part of the guitar, and every single bit of the guitar you can design it to accommodate you and how you want it. So that's really satisfying because I mean it's not cheap, but you
Yeah.
get a guitar that if you were buying something similar from I don't know Gibson or Fender, you'd probably pay like 4,000, 5,000 pounds, but you get it for half the price from them. So that's
Cool.
really good.
Do
And then
you
you can
happen
get,
to have that guitar around you at the moment?
I have it. I can go pick it up. It's in my room. If you give me a second, I'll
Not
get
a
it.
problem, man. That's what we're here for.
Here we are.
Cool.
So yeah, it's star shaped. I think it was Charvel who used to do that shape originally.
Yeah.
I don't know if they came up with that shape or another brand or who did, but yeah, that's a really like unusual shape. Like I did it when I was like, I don't know, 17 or something like this. So we when we started the band, we were really into thrash metal
Yeah.
and all that. So
So
and I always
could you run through the specs top to bottom, man, if it's possible? So
yeah, if I remember everything by heart, it's been a long time. So,
do the best
um,
you can, man.
if I'm not mistaken, mahogany body, um, the neck, um, I can't remember what was the wood I used for the neck, to be honest. And the fretboard is it's also hard because I don't remember the names in English, you know. That the black woods, I don't remember what's the
It's not
how do you
ebony, is it? I'm probably getting
ebony,
it.
yeah,
It is?
exactly.
All right, cool. Man, I got that
Uh,
right.
yeah, but I mean nothing too fancy. I have Seymour Duncan's super distortion for the bridge pickup and the JB Jazz for the neck.
Cool.
Yeah, I have locking
Locking
mechanics,
tuners, yeah. Cool.
which I really love. I wish I could actually, I should spend the time to install this on each of my guitars because
Yeah.
they just never move. It's just this guitar
Yeah.
stays in tune no matter what I do. So it's
Makes
just,
string changing, really quick and easy. It's
yeah,
that
exactly.
simple, man. So that
And
was cool.
so yeah, I never, almost never have to bring it to have it set up or anything. It just sets up by itself and nothing moves. It's just always good. And
Cool, man.
my latest guitar I have, which is I think my main guitar at the moment, is the Fender Strat Pro. I got it a year ago, I think, or already 2 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
And same as well. I really like it. That's the second guitar I used on the album, actually. So I used the Flying V and the Fender Strat. Yeah, this one I really liked as well. Also for the clean sound, it's just the clean sound
Yeah.
from the Fender Strat is just something special, you know.
Do you actually tend to use, 2 different guitars or 3 different guitars on one track, or do you stick to just the one?
I did for a few songs on the album, but usually I keep the one. That when I use different guitar, it was usually either there was a clean part or something like this, so I was playing the clean on one guitar and then switching to the rhythm on the Flying V. But usually I play with one guitar. I think if on the next album we have more money to spend and more time to be in the studio, one thing I would love to try is to double track with different guitars. And I was reading, I think, an interview from Ace Frehley, the guitarist from originally Kiss, where he was saying that he double tracked every track with a Les Paul and a Strat,
Yeah.
and that the Strat will give a bit more attack, and then the Les Paul was really like the
The
humph.
oomph.
And yeah,
Yeah.
I'd love to do that, but when when you don't have that much time in the studio, sometimes it's hard to
Yeah.
do
So
all
do you
that.
guys actually use a studio to record and not you don't have a recording setup at home or, at your rehearsal space or anything like that?
Unfortunately not. I mean, we do our demos ourselves, but none of us has really the best ear to really get the sound that we want.
All right.
And yeah, we wanted to be in a studio where someone really knows what he's doing to do to be able to get the sound that we want.
Yeah.
So we went to a studio in West London called Wayward's. Is it yeah, Wayward's Church? No, not Wayward's. It's a difficult name. I'm lost now. Westway, sorry, Westway Studio,
All
Westway
right.
Record Studio, and we were the last session of the studio because he had to close down after we finished the album. So that was a bit of a history for him as well. He was happy to get a final big project in there, and
Yeah.
now he opened a new studio closer to King's Cross. So we hope that we'll get to go and try the new studio soon in the future. That was cool as well. It's the whole studio was in a church, so
Yeah.
we were able to use some big reverb from the church room and this kind of thing. That was really exciting as well.
So did you guys go on tour, with the album? I know it's during the lockdown period, but did you guys manage to do anything at all?
Not really. We started a tour in March and a UK tour, which was going pretty well, and we played with some really cool bands as well. There was the Guitarist, Blue Nation, to name a few. And yeah, we were just having a lot of fun, but unfortunately, it was cut short with the lockdown. We still had like 3 or 4 dates to do,
Yeah.
and I think you came to see us on the
Yes, I did
last
indeed.
show actually. Yeah, so we hope that we can finish this tour at some point and put back the last few dates we had to do in the calendar, but
I
we
bet
don't
you,
know
man.
when.
I bet your fans can't wait for you to be on the road. You know what I mean? So, do you guys use, tube amps or using modelers? What is the whole setup?
So I use Orange Rocker 30
All
that
right.
I got. I've been changing really often. I've been trying, Marshall, Hugin Kettner. I had Randall in the past. I've been trying quite a few different amps, never really getting what I wanted. And 2 years ago, I think we went in Sweden to record with Pedro Ferreira, who recorded the Darkness, Permission to Land,
Yeah.
and he had the Orange Rocker 30 there, and I tried it, and I just fell in love with it immediately. So as I came back from Sweden, I went on eBay, and I found a guy in London who was selling one because they actually stopped making them, I think, Orange,
All right.
and someone was selling one that was like in perfect condition. So I just went to the guy straight away and got it for myself. And
Cool,
yeah, I've
man.
been
That
since.
sounds cool. So basically, you just stick to the orange, and that's about it.
Yeah, for the moment, yeah, and
Yeah.
I use a few pedals, but not much. I have the what's the name of that pedal? The Box of Rock
Yeah.
that I use for the distortion at the moment, and otherwise a few. I have a wah for a few things I do, and a reverb, but that's it. I keep my setup pretty small, I must say.
Cool.
And
So
yeah,
guitar, plug it in, few of your pedals, what a wah and a reverb, and straight to the amp. That's what we're talking about here. That
exactly.
is
Like
so
simple.
cool, man. So cool. So how does the harmonica come into play? How did that happen?
So funnily enough, I had no idea how to play harmonica, and back in when we were in Switzerland, at some point we started to listen to the Doors, and we decided to do a cover of Backdoor Man, and
Cool.
which is already a cover. Actually, it's from Willie Nelson originally, and we wanted to do something a bit different. And I had a harmonica at home, and we were like, oh, why don't we try to replace the keyboard in the song with harmonica instead? So we tried it, and it worked. It was fun. So we started to play it live like this, and people were really enjoying it. And it's been in our set since then, pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
And so it's on the new album actually as well. We decided to record it, and then yeah, since I started to get myself into playing harmonica a little bit, we started to slowly put it into a few of our songs like Sugar Rush, Hard Rockin' Man, a
Yeah.
few others. And yeah, people really like it as well, and it's fun to
Cool.
play.
So does the harmonica ever get into a live stage, while you're performing?
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
have it for a few solos, for a few songs. So I tried a few things as well to have it, handy and switch from the guitar to harmonica. I had at some point I had tried to put it somewhere on the guitar strap where I could grab it, but after a few shows, I had a few occasions where it just slipped out and I lost it. I had no idea where it went. So now I just keep it next to my pedal board and I grab it from there,
Yeah.
and that's it.
You should have a guy just next to you go, like, catch it if you can.
Yeah,
That'll be cool, man.
yeah.
So let's get into this new EP, man. It sounds amazing that, you guys during the lockdown period, I'm guessing that's when you guys have come up with this new EP. Tell me when it's going to be released, and is it going to be the same kind of hard rock, in your face kind of thing?
Yeah, so we don't know exactly. The plan is to release it early next year,
Yeah.
to have something to follow up from the album. Um, and now we're still recording demos for it, and we're gonna see exactly how we plan to record it. If we go into a studio or do the drums in studio and then do the guitars ourselves if we can, or just record at home and reamp in the studio afterwards.
Yeah.
So this we're still planning for it. The sound definitely we're gonna try to keep um, to keep what we had from this album because it really works. That was one of the things we really worked on with the album, was to get the sound from our live performance. A lot of people with the first album told us, "Oh, but you sound so much bigger and with so much power when we see you live than on
Yeah.
the album." So on the second album with Colin, we really worked on capturing this live power that we had, and we played with him in London last year, and so he saw us play live, and he really got the idea of what our live performance was like, and he really managed to help capture this sound.
Yeah.
So we're definitely going to try to keep that going with that EP. It's gonna be a bit different in the way that I don't know if I can tell, because we didn't really talk about this with the guys. So the songs
You're
are
gonna
gonna
get
be,
into trouble, man. You're
yeah,
gonna get into
exactly. So I'm
trouble.
gonna say something is a bit different compared to what we did. I'm not gonna say what, but the sound, I mean, it's still gonna be Daxx and Roxane, and we're gonna go full rock and roll power with it.
Yeah, super cool, man. So, are there any tips and tricks you have while you record your guitars when you do multiple takes or layering or stuff like that? So, you want to share anything, or is it like more of a hush hush thing? You want to keep it to yourself?
Oh, no, I don't have any secret really. I think um, just try to relax. I mean, personally, I'm really, when I record, I forget completely how to play guitar. I can play
Yeah.
the song 1 million times with the guys, no mistakes, and then as soon as someone hits record, I'm like, what am I doing with my finger? What's happening? So I think it's just for any guitarist to relax and be in a comfortable environment, like because I know that I get stressed when I have to record. I like to ask anyone who doesn't need to be there to leave the room.
Yeah.
And I like, we with the guys, we know each other since we're little kids, and we've always been together. And when I started playing guitar, Cal had already been playing guitar for many years. So in a way, he's also been my guitar teacher. Like he taught me so many things, and still today, like he's always telling me when I'm not playing something right. He's the guy who's gonna tell me, oh, it would be easier if you do it like this, and I'm like, oh yeah. And so yeah, when I'm recording, I also really like to have him in the room with me to like just coach me in a way, if you want. And so yeah, I think for anyone recording is just to keep in mind to be in a room where you're comfortable and have like feel that nothing is gonna trouble your mind when you're doing your
Of
take,
course.
basically.
Yeah, there
And
you go.
what
That's the best advice you can give to a guitarist, man. I think, do you have like a recording setup at home?
yeah, I mean, I keep it quite simple. I have Pro Tools, and I have Scarlett Focusrite, where either if we're recording demos, I plug straight in the sound card and into the computer, and then use plugins just to get the sound going. And otherwise, if we want to get something a bit better, we go to our rehearsal studio, and then we have a few mics there, and we record that way. Um, when we do our demos, we keep it pretty old school and dirty. Quality is not amazing, so it's more for us to have an idea of the songs and work on them.
Yeah,
When we did the album, we did a Kickstarter campaign, and one of the rewards for anyone who was subscribing and helping with the financement of the album is that we were giving away some demos of the album of what we did, so people could see the difference between what we worked on with the demo and how the song actually changed from the demo stage to how it was on the album.
yeah, so cool, man. So, apart from working on the new EP, what are you up to right now?
We're really working a lot on next year and crossing our fingers that things can go ahead, because we have a pretty busy calendar for next year, so that's exciting. But it was the same for this year. I mean, at the start of the year, we had so many festival booked, and everything has been shifted to next year.
Yeah,
So that was quite disappointing, But yes, like everyone, we just hope for the best for next year. And so when we did that show in Cornwall with King Creature, we met Ben Ward, the singer for Hobgoblin, Orange Goblin.
yeah,
And so he started his own booking agency now, and he took us on board because we met him there and started chatting, and we had a really good connection. And he was looking for bands to get on his new roster. And so now he's working with us and planning for next year. We have already some tours that we're planning in the UK and also in Europe, which would be
cool.
really exciting because we haven't done Europe yet. I mean, we've played Switzerland since we're from there. Obviously, we've been in France once or twice, and we've been in Ibiza for the HRH.
Yeah.
But apart from that, we haven't been anywhere else outside of Europe. So this is pretty exciting, and we're really looking forward to it. And yeah, otherwise we have plenty of festivals across the UK. So let's hope for the best for this.
Cool. So, a very quick one, man. So, what is the hard rock scene like in Switzerland?
It's hard to say for how is it today, because obviously now we've been here for more than 6 years.
Yeah,
And when we were there, when we started the band, we always said, when we finish school or whatever we're doing, let's all move to the UK and play music there. That was our dream. And that's what we did, like we finished whatever we were doing. Then Cedric came here first, and then we all followed him. And we started from scratch here, basically. But one of the things that also was a bit frustrating for us was, well, first of all, we don't have that many venues like there is in the UK, so it was hard to, when you're a smaller band, to get a lot of shows. So we were playing once every 3 months maybe, or something like this, and that was hard to get much more. And there is a lot of big festivals in Switzerland in the summer as well, but when you're nobody, there's no way you can get on those festivals. So it was quite frustrating. And for the rest of the show at the time, there was a lot of metal bands as well. But we were at the beginning, like I said, we were playing thrash metal or between thrash and heavy metal, kind of a mix of Metallica and Iron Maiden. And so all the bands we were playing with, either it was like indie rock or singer songwriters, or like a death metal band or this kind of thing. So there was nothing really in the middle, and we were kind of frustrated because either we were too hard or too soft for the other bands we were playing with. So it was a bit annoying. I think now it's a bit better, but again, it's hard to say since we're not living there anymore. I don't have the really an up-to-date point of view on the question, to be honest.
Well, cool, man. This has been a really cool chat, and I can't thank you enough. So, before we end this, do you want to give a shout out to your fans, or tell us where we can get the album from, and all that information?
Yeah, of course. So again, guys, well, thank you, Ryan, for having me today. That was really cool. And thank you everyone for your support. Like with everything that's been going on this year, it's been so cool to have the support of the fan and see how people enjoyed the album and keep getting the support from everyone, even though we're not able to play live or do anything. It's so nice to see that people still get involved and do everything they can to help the bands and everyone else in the music industry. That's just amazing. And so yeah, the album can be found pretty much everywhere on our website. We have our online store where you can get the album or a lot of merch, t-shirt, or anything that people like. You can probably find it on Amazon, Spotify, YouTube. We have a new video that we released last week as well from one of the new single of the album. So yeah, just Google Daxx Roxane, which is not an easy name to remember, but at least no one's got the same.
Cool, man. Thanks again, man. So, hope to see you guys sometime soon, and you take care, man. And I'll catch you guys later.
Yeah, man. See you later.